Okay, so we are recording. I just want to say thank you guys for all jumping on tonight. We are so excited. So Amy and I both reached out to Allie and asked if she wouldn't mind sharing a little bit with us about her story and how she got started, what she did. So for those of you who don't know, Allie Antonacci is our special guest tonight. She is an ambassador diamond with It Works. She is a top 50, maybe a top 30 money earner with the company. She is in the Millionaires Club, which is crazy. So she has an incredible story she wants to share with us. And I know there are a lot of newer people on here who maybe have never met her or seen her before. So I think this will be super, super inspiring. So without further ado, I will let Allie go ahead. I'm going to unmute you, Allie, so you can go ahead and just get started.
All right, perfect. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. I didn't know if I needed to unmute myself. So thank you guys so much for having me on tonight. So I know our team is growing so fast that I talk to, you girls like Jenny and Amy all the time, but your teams are just exploding. So it's so fun to get to meet, everybody else and talk to everybody. And it's nice that not everybody knows me because you guys are great leaders. And but it's fun to get to jump onto things like this. So like Jenny said, my name's Allie Antonacci. I'm an ambassador diamond with It Works. I started with It Works. It'll be 4 years this July. At that time, I was a nonprofit fundraiser. I raised money and ran a campaign for a really large national nonprofit. I worked at the regional office here in St. Louis. I was married. My daughter was 2. My husband was in a sales job at that time that was commission only. And the first 9 months of the year, he worked hard and was out of the house normal hours. And the last 3 months of the year, he was out of the house like 80 hours a week. So holidays weren't fun. Like a third of his annual income was made in those couple months at the end of the year. So it just was a lot of fluctuation and a lot of uncertainty because, working in nonprofit, I never did that for the money. I was never going to be a big breadwinner with that kind of career. So, sorry. So I had seen a friend posting on Facebook about It Works and the wraps. I thought it was crazy. I had no idea what she was doing. It was a friend from college who I really didn't even know that well. She was posting these results, and I was very, very intrigued, being a mom of 1 at that time. It was 2 years postpartum. I had gotten my body back in shape, but my skin on my stomach was not the same. My stretch marks were there, and I wanted to try the products, but I couldn't justify that cost. Because when our daughter went to full-time daycare, it was as much as our mortgage. With my husband's checks fluctuating, there just was no room for extras. We had a house and cars and everything on the outside looked great, but we were really, really struggling. We had a ton of debt because of those fluctuations in monthly income. Like sometimes there was just more month than money and there was no way around it. So we were in a lot of debt from college still, student loans, car loans, credit cards, all that stuff that just, when you get paid and suddenly every dime of your check is allocated, it sucks. Like you want something more. And I couldn't even justify the $59 for the wraps. There wasn't anything extra in the budget. So after 9 months of watching her, I finally said, is this for real? Because what she had done is she had posted her goals on Facebook on just a piece of paper. She had just scratched out some goals, and one of them said, pay for a trip to Atlantis in cash. And at that time, her family was her husband, and 3 sons. And I thought, well, that is like a really legit trip. That's a really expensive trip. And is she seriously making that kind of money? And I had never responded to a post. I had never commented or liked on anything. She had messaged me multiple times. I had ignored her, but I was watching every post she made. I was reading everything she was doing. And out of all the hundreds and hundreds of posts she made, for some reason, that one was what spoke to me. And I finally messaged her and I was like, okay, I need to know more about what you're doing. I kind of said, I don't really know what it is, but I think I need to be doing it too. So we had lunch a couple weeks later, and she actually was just, I think she had just had her fourth baby at the time. So we had lunch, and she showed me the catalog, and I said, well, people buy this kind of stuff from Walmart and Target every single day. Why wouldn't they just buy it from me? And that was really the mindset I took. At the time, there was a $10,000 bonus available for going diamond in 90 days. So I told her I would do anything she told me to do for 90 days. And when it didn't work and I quit, she couldn't be mad at me. There was no way. I thought this stuff was a scam. I guess I didn't think it was a scam. I believed it could work. I just thought it was for the lucky. I never saw it doing for me more than a couple $100s a month. And that's all I wanted, a car payment, a grocery bill. Sorry, I'm like really, really thirsty tonight, and trying not to yawn because I'm very tired because I have a newborn. But we'll get to that in a minute. So, yeah, I was hesitant, but I signed up anyway, and I thought, what are people gonna think? I was so nervous about posting on Facebook, and I didn't. I froze in my tracks, and I feel like that's the one thing I want to tell everybody is if you are new, like you joined this business for a reason and nobody is coming and knocking at your door to pay your bills. Just dive in. Go for it. Who cares what anybody else thinks? Because I did, and it stalled me out and it froze me in my tracks. And finally, I was like, you know what? Okay, I don't care. I blocked like my best friend and my father-in-law and a couple other people from posts. So I just didn't even have to answer questions. And I went for it, and I started posting results. And I started posting about products, and I started posting about different things I was taking and trying the greens and having my wrap party. And all of a sudden, people were kind of messaging me and being like, hey, what is this? One of my best friends texted me and said, hey, I think your Facebook got hacked. There's like bellies all over it all of a sudden. So people are going to wonder. But when you are posting so consistently on social media, you're building brand awareness. People are going to know that something's going on in your life and what this business is. So when they see you in person, the first thing they're going to ask you is, what is this? Or they're waiting for you to bring it up, and then they like want to know everything. So it's so, so, so important. So I started posting. I started getting some customers. I got some distributors. They got some distributors. I mean, it was blind leading the blind. We didn't know what we were doing, but we were just so darn excited because honestly, about 3 weeks into the business, I went to an event. It was a boot camp. So anybody who, they're doing boot camps this summer. There's one in Phoenix in 2 weeks. There's one in Grand Rapids in, I think, 4 weeks. Get there. You guys need to get to corporate events. I went to a corporate event, and I did not wear black and green. I thought it was stupid. I couldn't understand why everyone there was wearing black and green because I was like, they all know they're part of this company, right? Like, why are they telling everyone that? Why are they all wearing these shirts? But I thought the whole thing was crazy, and I sat there with my arms crossed. Bonnie, my sponsor, just drugged me to go. She told me I had to go. I had no option. And that day opened my eyes. There were so many different leaders sharing their stories, and everything from somebody who all she wanted was like money to get her nails done and turned into retire, bringing in more income than her husband, who was a banker, to somebody who had sold their wedding ring to pay bills and were selling things from their house to pay for baby formula, to somebody who just said they had a great job, but they just wanted more time. And these stories just resonated with me. And somebody said, they knew this business was for them when they didn't want anybody else telling them when they could see their family. And that was really what resonated with me, because while things were fine on the outside, I saw my daughter awake for like 2 hours a day. And that was awful. She was 2 years old. I was missing everything. The next day, or that Monday, I picked her up from daycare, and they handed me like a scrapbook page, and they said, here, this is the highlights of our summer. This is everything that we did all summer. And of course, the teacher was super well intentioned, but to me, it was like a stab in the heart. It was like, here, mom, here's everything you missed all summer. And I just vowed at that moment, I was like, I will never miss anything again. And I am telling you, I put my head down and I went to work. I did not wait for 1 second for anyone to come to me. I went to them. I messaged, oh my gosh, hundreds of people every week. The second my daughter would go to bed, I'd sit down in front of the computer and I would work until I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. I was saving posts to put up the next day. Um, I was messaging people. I was adding new friends on Facebook. I was reading training documents. I was watching videos on YouTube. You guys, this was 4 years ago. You didn't have just the unlimited resources that you guys have now. But the biggest thing I was doing was messaging and following up every single night. And 60 days after that boot camp, I went diamond. And I did it. I did it in less just under 90 days. Got that $10,000 bonus. And another thing that happened at that boot camp was I turned and looked at my sponsor and I said, I'm going to be on that stage next year. And I think she kind of was like, okay, whatever. But I mean, I saw that was my goal. I saw the income chart as like a ladder, and you better bet I was going to climb it. And I didn't care if it took me 3 years or 10 years to become a millionaire, but I was going to go do it because I saw that this company was the vehicle. And the charts, compensation plan, the steps to success, that was the roadmap. And all I had to do was step on the gas. And that is all any of you have to do. It works is your vehicle. You know, the map is there. You've got all of us cheering along the road, but you have to step on the gas. And that was what it was for me. I knew nobody else was going to do this. Just like nobody else was paying my bills, nobody else was going to work this business for me. But the thing I quickly realized too was that my effort could write my paycheck. And what other business is that possible? Like my effort, the harder I worked, the more money I made. So I saw, I laid in bed. I think it was even before I officially joined, and I like memorized that income chart. I knew exactly how much credit card debt we had. And I laid in bed at night and like said, well, if I go executive this month and then I go Ruby this month, oh my gosh. And I was like mentally spending the money. I even warned Jenny and Amy, I was like, I'm going to yawn a lot. I was mentally paying off my debt, saying if I promoted every month, how quickly could I do it? And in the first 6 months in this business, I did not spend a dime of my work's income. We put it all towards, and we paid off $12,000 in credit card debt in 6 months. We got rid of our credit card debt. It was amazing. It was the most unbelievable feeling. And also in 6 months, I had replaced my full-time income. So I quit my dream job. I came home, I guess, right before Thanksgiving and told my husband I wanted to quit my job. He told me I was crazy. And I kind of said, but I can really do this. I said, and you got to trust me. So after a lot of conversation, he said, go for it. Quit my job the next day. And I went all in. That was right before Christmas 2013. So that's crazy. It's been over 3 years since I've worked for someone else. And my daughter only then went to daycare 3 days a week because I knew I wasn't a stay-at-home mom. I was a work-from-home mom, and there's a very, very big difference. And I would take her and I would work. And I'd work so hard, and I would spend all day messaging people and following leads and charting. And when I was out and about, I constantly was blitzing and wearing my shirt. And I went triple diamond. And then 2 days before my 1-year anniversary, I went presidential diamond. And that following July, so 1 year to the day from when I was at that boot camp, the year before, I was at Green Carpet, and I was announced as the number 56 earner in the company for, I'm trying to think if it was for, I guess it was for Dash. It was the top 100 earners for the summer for like April, May, June were announced, and I was number 56. And so I held true to my word. I was on stage 1 year later. So in a year, I built myself to a top earner. My checks kept rising. That fall, I made a paycheck. 14 months into the business, I made a paycheck with It Works that was more than my annual salary with my job before that. And I knew that there was no stopping me, and I knew it was just the beginning. I didn't ever see It Works as quick money. Even when it did happen, I mean, in a year, that's really fast. But I saw it as a long-term career. This was a life for my family. My husband's job was exhausting. So one day he walked out the door and I said, I hope you get fired. And he thought I was being really mean, but later on called me and he's like, what did you mean? I said, it's harder having you away than if you were home. So he decided to take a few months off and figure out what he really wanted to do. He's kind of burnt out in his industry. And now 2.5 years later, he's still home. So there was no couple months off. He's been home with us since September of 2014. Like I said, when I started this business, I had one daughter. Now she is 5.5, and I have a 20-month-old son, and I have a 3.5-month-old son. Hence why I'm exhausted because I have a tiny tornado and a newborn. And yeah, I mean, our family, we're home all day together. My sons will never know parents that have to go to an office. I mean, how mind-blowing is that? 21 months into the business, I went Ambassador Diamond. So just shy of my 2 year. And so that was March of 2015. And in March of 2016, I broke into the Millionaires Club, which is $1 million earned total from It Works for our household. So in under 3 years, like, who gets to do that? And what other industry do you get to do that? It was not easy. I will never say this business is easy. But you guys, it is simple. The steps to success are so simple. And myself and so many other leaders will tell you exactly what you have to do. But we can't do it for you. And I think that is something that we just can't stress enough, that you have to remember that why and know it so strongly, something that makes you cry, and it's going to keep you going and driving forwards. I've seen a taste of what it's like to all be home together, and I never want to lose that. And that's what makes me work every single day. That's what makes me pick up the phone and call a lead. That's what makes me, message one more person, put one more post up, add 3 more people from a group, whatever it is. But the thing that's bonkers is, like, this company is just getting started. We are in momentum right now. And what happens, every company goes through it one time. And this is the time. This is when companies go from the new guy on the block to the household name. And it usually happens over a series of a few years. You guys, I run into people every single day who don't know what It Works. Like, the market is wide open. This business is yours for the taking. What is so cool is I've been an ambassador for 2 years, and there is somebody who you might sign tomorrow who could be ambassador next year. They could be a top 100 earner next year. They could be the next Black Diamond. And that's the amazing thing about our compensation plan, is that there's no limits. Somebody brand new can come in and soar to the top. Sorry. But also, people can come in and change their entire lives in 6 months. There are 2 people who got ambassador in 7 months. How they did that, I have no idea. It sounds exhausting, but it happens. There's somebody who went double diamond in 1 month. No, will that be everyone? Absolutely not. There's one person who did that, but the sky is the limit. And don't focus on rank. Don't focus on your chart and learning everything and watching every YouTube video. Do things that sign customers and sign distributors. And that's how your team will grow. That's how your income will grow. But when you are spending all your time watching YouTube videos, learning what to do, you're never actually taking the time to do those things you learned. When you're working on your chart and you're stressing about, oh my gosh, well, my next distributor, where am I going to place them? You can figure it out when you sign them. You have 24 hours. It'll be fine. Stop stressing about all those next steps, all those unknowns, and just go sign distributors, go sign loyal customers. That's it. That is your job. Your only job is to tell as many people as possible about this business and these products. And that's it.
Can I
all
ask
your
a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, because we were kind of on the subject of what I was going to ask. So I know you talk about messaging. How important do you think it is? So you want to sign loyal customers and distributors. Obviously, that's our goal. So how important is posting versus messaging? Or what do you think is the best way to find loyal customers and distributors? What are you doing every day to do that?
Okay, so I will say that the way I post now, 4 years into the business, is different than right when I started because I've built a brand. Facebook, yes, it is my personal Facebook. It's all I've ever used is my personal Facebook. Don't go create some new page or something. It's ridiculous and a bunch of extra work. And it doesn't even work. My personal Facebook is my business. It is my brand, and I've created brand awareness. I've done that by every single day posting results, posting info about products, asking for product testers, sharing how this business helps my life, sharing how I use the products daily, and then also sharing goofy pictures of my kids and my dogs and my food and my life because people don't want to see only it works. But you want to think about when you're watching a show. You're watching a show and you want to fast forward through the commercials, right? So you want to be the show. Don't be the commercial. Commercials sell to you. You want to be engaging. You want to be drawing people in. You want people looking forward to your posts. So even when they are about it works things, make them personal. Take pictures with your kids or take, something little like I posted a beautiful bouquet of flowers that I had bought. I think we were hosting Thanksgiving or something. And I said, 4 years ago, I never would have dropped $30 on flowers at a grocery store just to make my house look pretty. Never, never, ever. And something like that is so relatable to people. So you want to be the show. You want to draw people in, things that relate to them. You don't see me posting about being in the Millionaires Club. You don't see me posting about, making 5-figure checks. You see me posting about how my weekly bonus paid for swim lessons. How, my check this month, is helping pay for an extra trip for us or something like that. People want to know how their bills are getting paid, how they're paying for groceries, how they're filling up their gas tank, how they can afford their kids' sports. So relate to that. Think about who your target audience is. But when it comes down to it, posting is not asking. Posting is you turning the light on in your store, telling people you're open for business. When you walk up to a restaurant, you don't walk up to a dark restaurant. The lights are on, right? And you've seen their commercial and you saw their sign, you got a coupon in the mail. You showed up. But you don't just walk in and say, I want this. They say, how may I help you? They say, can I take your order? What can I get for you? They ask. And that's where messaging comes in. Posting is building a brand. Posting is not asking, and very, very rarely will you have someone contact you off a post and just say, I want this. Posting is a brand. That's your marketing. Messaging is where you ask. You have to ask people to join your team. You have to ask people to be your customer. That's the end of the story. You have to ask. So however you do that, whatever message you feel comfortable with, you need to reach out to people. You need to reach out to people every single day, whether that's 2 people or 5 people or 10 people or 50 people. That's your decision. but that effort you put in on those messages is going to directly correlate to how quickly you want to grow in this business. You know, if you're sitting here as a brand new distributor saying, I want to be a diamond, I want to be a diamond, and you're staring at a diamond chart every day, that's great. You need to go exec first. And then you need to go ruby. And it's amazing how quickly it will start happening as your team goes. But you need to start asking people. Right when you first start, message 10 people who you love and are super fun and people you like to hang out with and say, my God, oh, I am so sorry. Say, I want you to do this with me. Like, this is so fun. I'm going to go make $1 million. You coming with me or not? And that's literally the attitude I took. Did I actually think I'd make $1 million? Yes. Did I think I'd make it in less than 3 years? No way. But I really, truly knew that I would make $1 million in this company. I wasn't ever going to make it in my old job. That would have taken me over 20 years to make $1 million in my old job. It's crazy. 22 years, I think. So, yeah, you have to do both. You have to post, you have to message, and you just have to live your business. If you are not a product of the product, nobody's going to take you seriously. You got to find 2 or 3 products you love, put them on your auto ship every month. If you have somebody you live with, a roommate, a spouse, a friend, whatever, get them trying some products too. Build your own testimony because somebody wants to know that you really believe in this. Somebody wants to know that it really does work for you. So you have to be a product of product. Jenny or Amy, do you want to?
I wanted to. So Allie, if you were to tell everyone like why it's so important to start building early and not wait, and just get customers, but always offering both options and just what that's going to do for their business.
Yeah, for sure. So, the first goal, obviously, when we're brand new, we're nervous. You want to start out, you want to get a few customers. Oh, but the way I looked at it, my God, I swear, I do sleep sometimes, just not much. The way I look at it is you never want to prejudge someone. So, say when I first messaged Jenny, I had told her, hey, I'm looking for hair, skin, and nail models. Can I offer you 40% off on it? She might have said, sure. And she might never have become a distributor. Little did I know, she had been watching me and was intrigued about being a distributor. And the second I asked her, it became really, really easy for her to say yes. So you always want to give people both options. Building from day one is so important because first, it's really fun to work with somebody, to have a couple partners from day one. I swear I'm going to need to get up and walk around or something. I'm not going to fall asleep on the Zoom. Although I've seen people do that, which is really funny. So you want to offer people both things. You want a couple friends to join you right away. It's fun to build with your friends. When they're going exec, you're going ruby. When they're going ruby, you're going emerald. Everybody's working together, working towards goals together. I had somebody recently go diamond last month, and it was like 2 of her best friends were the rubies and the emeralds, and that's so fun. It's fun being able to celebrate together like that. But you have no idea someone's story. You have no idea someone's situation. Mm-hmm. And so you want to always offer them, if they say, gosh, I really think I want to try these wraps, say, awesome. You can try them for $59 as a loyal customer. You have 40% off from day one. It's a great program where you always get wholesale price and you get some rewards, and thanks for your support. Or you can get a box of wraps as a distributor. You can always get 40% off. You can get discounted boxes of wraps, and you have the opportunity to make money. Which sounds like a better fit for you? Keep it really simple. But somebody might be like, I was kind of intrigued by this business. I recently had somebody who said, gosh, I really want to try these wraps. And, oh, what are these greens you're talking about? And she said, money's really tight. I just started staying home with our daughter, so I might have to wait till next month. And I said, if you're interested, I'd love to tell you more about the business opportunity. You can, just by sharing these products with your friends, you can make them enough money to more than cover the products that you want to try. She was like, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. I've really been thinking about something to bring in a little bit of side income. But what if I had just said, okay, great, I'll follow up with you next month to be a customer? I never told her. You have to open your mouth. You have to tell people, and you have to start from day one, asking people to join you as a distributor and as a customer. I'm going to stand up. I got to go to my kitchen or something. Does that answer the
No,
question?
that's great. Yeah, that's great. And then also, I mean, gosh, just offering both is amazing, but I also often forget how great it feels to get that weekly bonus too. Like, that is so, just $100 for helping someone get started is huge for me. And I think that, people tend to forget that that's part of the compensation too. And there's so many different ways we can make money. And so I always try to remind people of that too.
Yeah, exactly. Once you are Fast Start qualified, every distributor you sign and help get off the ground and launch them, you make $100. So regardless of this amazing compensation plan, if you need $300 this month, go sign 3 distributors.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
That's
go
why
sign 3 distributors and launch them. I mean,
or I set little goals and say, if I want to buy these tickets to this show, or if I want to take my daughter to Disney on Ice, then I have to sign a distributor and help them get qualified. Set little goals like that.
That's a great, great goal.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love that, Amy. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No,
I was going to say, I watched a call with Stephanie Dunn one time, and she was saying how when she looked, I think she's very red, either her or Joel, very red. And when they looked at the compensation plan, they realized the only guaranteed money is that $100 Fast Start bonus. Everything else is a variable, like your volume, all of that, your commissions, all variable, but you're guaranteed that $100. And so for her, she wanted at least $500 a month. So she was like, I have to just sign 5 distributors, and everything else above and beyond that is extra. So I never thought about it that way. That is the only guaranteed part, which is amazing.
Yeah. And you're going to, once what I quickly realized is you have to sign you have to sign lots of distributors, because it might take 5 to get your one runner. It might take 20 to get your one runner. Like, you just don't know. So I never try to get hung up anymore on like those certain people. I'm just constantly reaching out and offering to everyone, because that's why our steps to success every month, because it's a numbers game. And so it's just great that we get rewarded for doing our job and what we're supposed to do anyways.
Absolutely. And so I think what Amy said is right. Like, if you want to be diamond, you just got to keep doing your steps to success and teaching them too. Like, you can't just sign up distributors and then hope they figure it out. Like, the things that are working for you, teach it to them. And then they teach their team, and it just grows and grows and grows. And I'm telling you, once a few people are kind of seeing the vision and growing with it, it all starts to happen really, really quickly. There are so many people who join me in this business who are canceled and have quit. Over 4 years, of course. I signed like 3 or 4 people, and they hadn't started, and I'd just been like, oh, this isn't going to work. It took a good 6 months in the business before I signed a few people who grew really large teams and really, stuck with it. And what's a crazy thing is that the 3 people who have the largest teams in my organization were all signed within a month of each other, 7 months into my business. Oddly, I don't know what was going on that January, but it was very good. I probably had signed 30 distributors before I found those couple people. But one of them, 7 months into my business, I'd been following up and following up and following up with this girl, and finally she said, okay, yeah, I think I want to do this. She went ambassador in 13 months. Do you know when you are a double diamond and you sign somebody that grows the team that quickly, what happens to your team and your paycheck? It's insane. When people say they want to make big money in this business, like big money, go diamond and keep signing people. Once you're diamond, keep signing people, because the second you find one of those rock star runners after you're diamond, your whole income will change. Because once you go diamond, you have the license to print money with the bonus structure. And that sounds cheesy, but it is so true. Jenny's smiling and nodding her head. And I hope Christy is too. Christy's a brand new diamond. And Heather too. Yeah, there's some brand new diamonds who are going to learn the beauty of those bonuses very soon. And it's pretty awesome. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I can say is ask people, and a no just means not right now. A no is not no forever. Don't take it personally. But, also when someone says, oh, no, I don't have time for that, or, oh, I'm not good at sales, don't just say okay and walk away. Be like, oh, yeah, I totally felt that way when I started too. Or, gosh, I hate salespeople because I love these products. I just feel like I'm sharing something I love with my friend. Overcome those objections and practice. Even when I'm at a trade show, if I ask somebody, hey, have you ever tried a wrap? And they're like, no. I'm like, why not? And they're like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, they're amazing. Come over here. Be confident and be excited, and it will get you very, very far. Janie or Amy, do you have other questions or specific things you want me to touch on, or do we want to open for any questions from anyone?
I did have something else, but I don't care if we want to open.
No, go ahead, because I don't want to miss any of the specific, because my notes are like on my phone too, and I'm zooming to my phone, so I can't
cutting
see
out.
them.
Is it just me or
you what?
Else?
I don't think she's frozen. I don't think she's cutting out. Maybe it's your phone, Amy. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to try to combine this. I don't know if I can combine this into one question, but what is something that you do not miss every single day? Like, what's your number one thing if you had only 5 minutes to work that day? What's the number one thing you would do? And you've kind of talked about this a little bit, but okay, so now you've been ambassador for 2 years, but where do you see this yourself, this business, the company in 5 years? Like, where do you see this going? What's the big picture? I threw you a curveball.
No, that's a good one. Because I know. So the one thing that I do every single day is, if I had nothing else, because there's days like today, totally solo mom, 3 kids, combined awake for like 14 straight hours. There was always one person awake. I follow up with my very hottest leads, my PDTs that are closest to signing. And one of the reasons you need to always be messaging is because your PDTs go through like 20 levels of how close they are to being ready. At first, they're like, oh, I don't know, but I'm kind of intrigued. And then there's those people that are like right on the edge of falling off the fence. And you always need to be bringing new people into the bottom. And as you follow up with people, they're going to get closer and closer to that off the fence, and they're going to fall off. So those people who have said, yeah, I'm in, let me just talk to my husband tonight, or I get paid on Friday, and that's why you need to be organized and always have your list, because I'm always going to follow up. Anything else, I'm going to post at least once about my business. If I had nothing, if I couldn't do it multiple times, and I would be following up with my very, very hottest leads, and just ask them, is today the day? Are you ready? Or what's holding you back? That's a really good one. When someone's like, I don't know, I say, what's holding you back? And they're going to give you an objection that you can overcome. Where is this business going in 5 years? Oh my gosh. I mean, 5 years, 50 years. Like, that's what's so cool is like knowing the leadership in this company. I have no doubt there's so much more than 5 more years. I will be a black diamond. I will have, in 5 years, I will have 5 more personally enrolled ambassadors. So 1 a year. 5 more personally enrolled ambassadors. I will live in a house where I don't have to sleep in my basement. My house is too small for our big family. And gosh, 5 years, my boys will be in elementary school, and yeah, I'd like to be totally debt free, mortgages and everything. You know, we don't have credit card debts and stuff like that anymore, but to have no mortgages, no car payments, none of that would be pretty awesome. And in 5 years, I'd like to have enough in college funds for all of my kids to go to college.
That's awesome. You know, and the funny thing is, I think a lot of people on here probably think this is just like your wish list, but this is like the actual list. Like, this is actually what can happen.
Your dream board.
Yeah, Rick, I mean, I can go downstairs and show them my dream board that's in front of my desk where it says Black Diamond. And it says a house that fits us all.
You forgot the private plane trip.
Yeah, and Addie wants to take a family vacation on a private jet, which where does a 5-year-old get the idea she needs to charter a jet? So whenever I go Black Diamond and I get to fly on the It Works jet, I guess Addie gets to come with me.
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, she wants to charter a plane. She wants to take a trip around the world. She wants to get a fluffy dog that doesn't shed. I mean, these are family dreams.
The girl knows what she wants.
You know, if you guys have spouses or kids or whatever, dream with your family. Get everybody invested together. You know, we talk about one of our huge goals right away. One of our biggest dreams was having like recreational land, like hunting land, a place for our family to go escape. And it was like such a long term, oh my gosh, somewhere in our life we'll achieve this. And last year we bought 100 acres of land with a house on it. I'm like, who in their early 30s buys like a second home? And like literally that property was like double what we paid for the house that I currently live in. And that's like wild that long, you know, less than 3 years in the business, they was able to do that. So, and put 30% down on it. You know, that was the real kicker. Like, that was the biggest check I've ever seen. But you put those goals out there and dream with your family and write them down. There's power when you write it down and it's put out in the universe that you will make, not you want something to happen, that you will make it happen. It's very, very powerful.
That's so awesome. And I love what Bonnie said on the call tonight about, you know, like this is a business too. And it takes people 5 to 10 years to see maybe a profit on, you know, a brick and mortar business or something like that. The fact that we can get there in a short amount of time. Like, what if you would have said after your first paycheck, oh, I'm done, I only made $50 or whatever. It's going to be like, I love what she said. It is a lot of work at the beginning and you feel like you're not being compensated for that, but then the magic starts to happen once you stick with it.
Absolutely. The amount of work you have to put in at the beginning does not seem to correlate to the amount of money you're making. You're like, oh my gosh, I killed myself. How do I only make $150? How do I make $50? How do I, you know, really, you just feel like you're just killing yourself at the beginning, especially if you're going fast. And then the magic happens. And yeah, somewhere around like triple diamond, all of a sudden you're like, I'm making some baller money. And I mean, I'm not working as hard as I should to make this kind of money. And what Cammie Dempsey always says is that we make gangster money, but it's legal. And it's true. I mean, when I saw prelims post, I mean, my life is like, my head doesn't even function right now. I'm in this fog of toddler and newborn and diapers and breast milk and working from my phone at all hours of the day whenever I can. And I got a $4,000 pay raise last month. And like, there's like 8 PDT lists like laying around my house. Like, I mean, I'm doing my best, and that's all you can ever do. And in your moment, you can't compare yourself to your past self or your future self. You just do everything you can in your day. But it was like, wow. And then like we kind of gotten some other things in order, and I was like, I can be so much more organized and like focused this month. I'm like, ooh, I wonder how big of a raise I can get this month. And that's cool. Your effort will write your paycheck in this business. It's the only business that can do it.
Yeah,
You are
it's
in
crazy.
total control.
It really is. I mean, I think back to last month, and I feel like, I worked as hard as I could given some extreme circumstances that happened. And, and like I couldn't work as much as I wanted to, and I still gave myself $1,000 raise, which is unbelievable considering if I had still had a full-time job, I would have missed, we had the flu for 2.5 weeks at my house on top of other things. And so I probably would have missed at least 2 weeks of work. And if I was being paid as like an hourly paid person, I would have missed, probably half a month at least. So yeah, that is insane to me. Like when I sit back and I think about everything that happened, and to still be able to like get a raise with this business is just insane. And I love how Mike Patillo says it's midnight money. Like it's like the money that you're being paid overnight, which is crazy. So
that's the beauty of residual income, but it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time to build it, slow and steady. And the reason that loyal customers and distributors are on your steps to success is because you need to be signing both to build a large, long-term residual income business. All right, I've talked like so much more than I thought I would. Shocker.
I think, yeah, we want to, I guess see if anyone has any other questions and wrap things up.
If they do, you guys can chat them to me, or like I can see the chat, or you can just unmute. You can raise your hand.
Anybody?
Bueller.
Do you guys want to do like a live Allie response to a PDT?
Oh, give it to me. I love it. Give it to me, Heather.
Hey girl, this is her response to me asking her. She said, "Hey girl, thank you. I honestly can't get into anything right now. My life is so hectic and going to school is the icing on the cake. I really appreciate you thinking of me."
You just gave her a compliment and asked her if she was interested in joining your team, or?
Well, yeah. So I had asked her about a couple of weeks ago about the opportunity, and she saw it and didn't message me. So today I wrote her because she had posted like her wedding picture. I said, "Natalie, your profile picture of your wedding is amazing. So beautiful. Wouldn't it be awesome if your wedding day could last like the entire weekend or week? LOL. So have you given any more thought about earning an extra income? ? And then that's what she wrote me back.
Excellent follow-up message, by the way.
Thank you.
So I would just say, oh my gosh, girl, I get it. Like my life was insane when I started this business. What I found was the busier I was, the more successful I could be, because I ran into more people, I talked to more people, and it made me super efficient. And then I would say, like, what are you going back to school for? Turn the conversation a little bit, because she gave you a pretty hard no with a lot. She tried to give you a lot of reasons that she couldn't do it. That's almost somebody overcompensating.
Right.
Being like, here's every 17 reason I can't do that with you. And that's usually insecurity coming through in a form of overcompensating. Right. But, tell her you totally get it. You felt the same way. And then be like, what are you going back to school for? Or what classes are you, if you already know that, what classes are you taking? Turn it back to her, but keep the conversation going.
Okay.
She's going to give you another opening, but keep building that relationship without putting the hard pressure on her. And the people you message with the most are the people who are most likely to see your posts. So tomorrow morning, put a post out there, like an opportunity post, as if you're talking to her. Like, I know you've been watching me. I know you're so busy. You say you're so busy, but you say you want this. You put that kind of thing out there and be like, but what if? And I've actually had PDTs come to me and be like, I felt like your post was talking to me. And I've never been like, it was. But that's what I would do.
Subliminal messaging.
the sales tactic is called feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel. Myself or others have felt that way in the past. And what I have found, or they have found, is it's like, I totally get how you feel. I felt the same way. What I found was that it actually XYZ.
Okay.
So that's a really good way to overcome objections, is feel, felt, found.
Perfect.
Without sounding too pushy.
Right. Yeah, that's that's where the jewelry store closing comes in, where I'm like, oh, I gotta back off. I know I can't open you up a credit card account, and I'm like, when are we gonna open the Edwards credit card? Because I can open those like all day long and close deals.
Oh Lord.
You know what I mean? So you can get a payment plan that's $25 a month. I'm gonna say you put the system, you are good to go. Your payment will start on the 2nd. Got it. Done. You
are so funny. Yeah, those hard sales in the jewelry store. Yeah. Make it about the relationship. Make it about helping her. And as you talk to her, I bet you she's going to talk about how expensive school is.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that. And you'd be like, girl, I know you told me you're too busy, but what if you could be paying for your school in cash? She's going to give you another opening.
Oh, of course. All right, cool. All right, that was fun. Thank you.
Good. All right, does anyone else have questions? I know it's almost 10 o'clock. Well, my time. It's probably 11 for a lot of you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, who is this?
Sweet. Okay, so I am under Amy, and so my biggest thing is I cannot blitz for the life of me. Like, I will pick up the confidence, and I like to blitz people like I've already talked to at my work, because I work in a daycare, and I actually work in a federal daycare. But when I'm out and about, I'm so hesitant that like I get so nervous. I am like trying to figure out how to calm my nerves and being able to be more confident into just blitzing people. Like, I went to the museum a couple weeks ago with my kids, and I was able to blitz just because I was talking to that mom, and I happened to have my cards out in my hand, and she was like, oh, what's that? And I was like, oh, well, I run a side business. It works. And then just brought up the conversation. She's like, oh, well, could I have a card, and can I have a couple so I could hand them out to my girlfriends? So I gave her 4 cards. And so, and I actually just got a text message from her today asking about trying the product and what it is and everything. So then I gave her the 411 and information about, hold on, baby, the information on just like the different products we have and the different like 90-day challenges we do. And so right now, like I've been messaging her and talking to her and everything about it. But that's like the most successful blitzing I've had. But everything else, I'm like pretty like positive. I'm trying to build my team, and it's just now just closing like the deals.
Okay, so let's get back to the first thing. You started your conversation with me by saying you are terrible at blitzing.
Oh yeah.
So that's the first problem. That's in your head. You've told yourself you're terrible at it. So you're going to be terrible at it. You're going to fulfill that. So that's the very first thing. You have to say, I am confident, I'm a badass, and I am a blitzing queen. And you have to have that in your mind and tell yourself that every day. So shift your mindset first. Second, what is the worst thing that could happen? If you walked up to a stranger and blitzed them, what is the absolute worst outcome that could happen?
Come on, baby. I just get a no. And that's, I don't even see why, like, I get nervous, because the most thing that you're going to get is a no. And it's just something that I don't know why I get nervous, but I do.
Yeah, and it's totally normal because it's the fear of rejection. I've had someone throw a card back at me asking me if I thought they were fat. I actually had a mom at swim lessons like run out of the building, like run physically away from me, avoiding taking my card. Really odd.
Right.
I've had somebody yell at me. But you know what? Never saw those people again. Those people weren't important parts of my life. So what I realized, because the first time I handed out a Blitz card, I mean, I was like, like shaking like a leaf. But what if that person standing there was praying that morning for something to cross her path that could change her life?
Yeah.
What if that person was looking in the mirror and was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going on vacation in 3 weeks and I cannot lose it. And what if you are the solution to everything they have been wanting?
Yeah.
You are doing them a disservice by not opening your mouth.
Yeah.
So I don't walk up to people. I don't cold blitz. I don't walk up to somebody and say, have you tried that crazy wrap thing? That's not me. But anytime you pull out your wallet, anytime you exchange money with someone, give them a coupon. Thank you so much for your help today. You were really helpful. I want to give you a coupon for my business. Anytime
Okay.
the server waits a table on you, you know what, man? You have been hustling around this, and you're the type of person I want on my team. I want to leave you my contact info. I'd love to tell you more. Or, hey, I love your purse. That's so cute. Where'd you get it? Oh, they tell you TJ Maxx or whatever. Oh yeah, well it's green. That's my company color, so I just happen to notice I always notice anything green. Oh,
Yeah.
what company is that? Don't make it more than having a conversation.
Yeah.
Give somebody a compliment. Give somebody a coupon. Tell someone thank you. And that's how you play.
Yeah.
And make it a game. When you're out and about all day, make it a game that you're going to blitz until you get 5 no's.
Well, okay.
Like go for the no.
Yeah.
Make it a game that you want as many no's as you can get.
Yeah.
Because in the midst of getting those no's, you're going to build your confidence, but you're also going to find yeses.
Yeah. Thank you so much, because that's been my biggest thing. So
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Well, I was going to tell Maria what Allie just said about, like, you never know that somebody's like praying that morning that something comes into their life. That literally just happened to us. We took our son to Tulsa to the aquarium, and we blitzed every single person we exchanged money with, the servers, the toll road people, the lady at the aquarium. And I just would hand on my card and be like, have you heard of my company before? I want to share this with you. You have great customer service, blah, blah, blah. The girl at the aquarium, come to find out, she's pregnant with twins. She's 4 months along. I gave her this card. I'm like, man, I'd really love to share this with you. She had people waiting in line behind us. I go, I'm going to come right back. So I told Don, he's like, it's cool. I got the boy. So I went back to her. I'm like, I just want to show you this because, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I added her on Facebook and sent her a message. I'm like, thanks so much for adding me. I'm so excited to meet you today. I can't wait to share with you later tonight. And she messaged me that night, and she said, I am so glad that you told me about this, because I've been praying the last week for something to change. You have no idea. I said, you know what? I said, I think this is awesome. I said, we just kind of thought the last minute to go to the aquarium. Why I went to your line instead of the other side, I'm like, God has a plan for everybody and everything. And I'm so glad that we were able to connect. So when everybody says, like, get over yourself, that means, like, don't feel scared to share this blessing with somebody else. It's like offering of a slice of gum or a slice of pizza or a piece of gum. Like, you have something amazing to share, and we are the voice of the company because we don't advertise. Like, it's our mouth that spreads the word, and it's so different than people sharing, like, their Starbucks and their where I got this purse and their top and their shirt. I mean, it's like awesome. Like this has brought me home to be with my son full time. And I'm like, I could cry every single time I say it, you know, it's awesome. So you go out there, like Ali said, you're a blitzer, you're sharing this love because it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So I just wanted to share that because what she said, I'm like, oh, that happened to me just last week.
Yeah.
And she signed up on Friday, you know, so that's awesome. Can't wait to change her world.
Yeah, and see with me, like whenever I do talk about the product, it actually did change me because when I met Amy, I was still trying to lose baby weight and I was stuck and for like ever. And then I got with Amy and I started using the products and I actually lost like 20 pounds. And so a lot of people who have seen like from where I was before to now, they're like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? And so that's usually how I bring up the conversation because they're like, oh wow, like when I looked at your old Facebook post and now to before. And that's kind of how like a lot of my talking about It Works comes by because it did not just help me physically but emotionally because I was already starting to get to that point where I didn't love myself, I didn't care for myself, I was just pretty much losing myself. And now that I've gained confidence, I'm like trying to gain that confidence into blitzing and going out there more and taking more risks, and I'm slowly getting there. It's just that like no, and I don't even know why I'm scared of the no because I used to be a general manager of a fast food place. So if I had to try to sell a new product, that a new line of hamburger or whatever, I was able to do it, and I've had people throw food at me, so it's like I don't know what the big scare of no is. So that is something that I do have to just like kind of get over it and to be like, it's just a no. If they walk away and roll their eyes or whatever, that's just what's going to happen.
It's because this business is personal and we make it so personal and it's so ingrained in who we are and it's so person by person. There's no store, there's no restaurant to like create a barrier for us. So it feels personal and it feels like personal rejection.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not, you know, if somebody throws a card at you, it's like seriously for a coupon, like you're that upset over a coupon.
I always try to put myself in their shoes, and if somebody asked me, I don't think that I would, you know what I mean? Like if I didn't want it, I say no. You know, it's not a big deal. Like if someone asked me, I wouldn't be pissed at them.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like the random dude in the mall that's always trying to like put face cream on you or flat iron your hair. It's like, okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, do you have anything else? We're after 10 o'clock already, so I know we hit our hour.
I think we're good. I think that was so awesome for everyone.
Thank you guys so much.
I hope you guys got a lot out of it, and everybody on here. My posts are all public. If you want to follow me, you can, and always don't hesitate to send me messages if you need anything. If you know, whatever. You guys all have amazing leaders, and Jenny and Amy, and but yeah, you're all on my team too. So I am always here to help.
Well, thank you so much. I will
get
this recording uploaded and try to get it out to you guys tomorrow. So.
Well, thank you so much, Jenny and Amy.
Thanks, Allie. We appreciate it.
Get some sleep.
Yeah, I know. I'm going right to bed. Good night, girl.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.